Welcome to the Nutrition Facts Label module. This brief module is offered as a complement to Early Care and Education College courses that cover health, safety, and nutrition. It is not meant to be exhaustive, but simply highlight important best practices and key information, as well as provide you with additional resources. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration updated the Nutrition Facts label in 2020 to make it easier for consumers to make healthier food choices. The label now includes servings and calories in larger bold type. The serving sizes and daily values were also updated. Added sugars were added to the label in addition to changes in some nutrients required and a new footnote. Serving per container and serving size information appear in large bold font. Serving sizes were also updated to better reflect the amount people typically eat and drink. The serving size is not a recommendation of how much to eat or drink. The nutrition information listed on the nutrition facts label is usually based on one serving. However, some containers may also have information displayed per package. One package of food may contain more than one serving. You may want to pay attention to the serving size, especially how many servings there are in the container, so you know the amount of calories and nutrients you are consuming. One package of food may contain more than one serving, so if you eat 2 servings, you would be getting 2 times the calories shown on the label. The daily values are reference amounts in grams, milligrams, or micrograms of nutrients to consume or not to exceed each day. Percent daily value can help you make informed choices about what you eat and drink. Comparing foods. Percent daily value makes it easy for you to make comparisons. Just make sure the serving sizes of each product are the same. Look at the percent daily value of the different nutrients and more often choose foods that contain more of the nutrients you want to get more of and less of the nutrients you want to limit. Manage dietary trade-offs. You don't have to give up a favorite food to have a healthy diet. Use percent daily value to make dietary trade-offs with other foods throughout the day. When a food you like is high in a nutrient you want to get less of, or low in a nutrient you want to get more of, you can balance it with foods that are low or high in that nutrient at other times of the day. Use percent daily value to determine if a serving of the food is high or low in an individual ingredient. As a general guide, 5% daily value or less of a nutrient per serving is considered low. 20% daily value or more of a nutrient per serving is considered high. Total sugars include sugars naturally present in many nutritious foods and beverages, such as sugar in milk and fruits, as well as any added sugars that may be present in the product. Added sugars include sugars that are added during the processing of foods, such as sucrose or dextrose. Foods packaged as sweeteners, such as table sugar, sugars from syrups and honey, and sugars from concentrated fruit or vegetable juices. They do not include naturally occurring sugars that are found in milk, fruits, and vegetables. The daily value for added sugars is 50 grams per day based on a 2,000 calorie diet. For most Americans, the main sources of added sugars are sugar-sweetened beverages, baked goods, desserts, and sweets. Consuming too much added sugars can make it difficult to meet the nutrient needs while staying in line with calorie limits. The list of nutrients that are required or permitted on the label were updated. Vitamin D and potassium are required on the label because Americans do not always get the recommended amounts. Vitamins A and C are no longer required since deficiencies of these vitamins are rare today. The actual amounts in milligrams or micrograms, in addition to the percent daily value, must be listed for vitamin D, calcium, iron, and potassium. Saturated fat, sodium, and added sugars are nutrients listed on the label that may be associated with adverse health effects, and Americans generally consume too much of them. They are identified as nutrients to get less of. Eating too much saturated fat and sodium, for example, is associated with an increased risk of developing some health conditions like cardiovascular disease and high blood pressure. Consuming too much added sugar can make it hard to meet important nutrient needs while staying within calorie limits. Dietary fiber, vitamin D, calcium, iron, and potassium are nutrients on the label that Americans generally do not get the recommended amount of. They are identified as nutrients to get more of. Eating a diet high in dietary fiber can increase the frequency of bowel movements, lower blood glucose and cholesterol levels, and reduce calorie intake. Diets higher in vitamin D, calcium, iron, and potassium can reduce the risk of developing osteoporosis, anemia, and high blood pressure. Folate is naturally present in many foods, including vegetables, especially asparagus, Brussels sprouts, and dark green leafy vegetables such as spinach and mustard greens, fruits and vegetable juices, especially oranges and orange juice, beef liver, nuts such as walnuts, and beans and peas such as kidney beans and black-eyed peas. Folic acid is a form of folate that can be added to foods during the manufacturing process. Foods that are fortified with folic acid include enriched breads, flours, pastas, rice, and cornmeal. Fortified corn masa flour, used to make corn tortillas and tamales, for example, and certain fortified breakfast cereals. Folic acid is also found in certain dietary supplements. Folate is important for lowering the risk of serious problems that occur during pregnancy that can affect the baby's brain and spine. These resources support the content covered in this brief module. We encourage you to take a look at them for more information and to share with families in your care. Thank you for joining us to review Nutrition Facts Label. This module is made possible by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and was developed in collaboration between the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment, Colorado Department of Early Childhood, the Integrated Nutrition Education Program, Culture of Wellness in Preschools, Pikes Peak State College, and Front Range Community College.